Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Bank to the Future Live. I am broadcasting live from Hong Kong again, just like I was last week. Today I was speaking at the Token 2049 conference and got to hang out with many people, do a few interviews, spread the good word about the secondary market at BnkToTheFuture.com. And also got to meet a few of the deals that we're currently working on to go live on the platform in due course. And this episode, we're going to, as usual, please ask your questions away. We'll be answering your questions on the live stream. And Famida is here as usual. So Famida, could you let Famida know that you can hear us okay? Because otherwise I'll be talking to myself and I'll carry on talking unless Famida tells me that there's some issues. But hopefully you can all hear me okay. Yeah, we're looking forward to the next episode. So we're experimenting with new formats. Again, we always look forward to your feedback on what you would like to see on these live broadcasts so that we can bring you what you're looking for. But we'll start with going through some of the deals that are live on the platform as we speak. So then we'll go through some of the new deals that we've let our BFT Priority Access member know about. And that's 2 new deals that are in Priority Access. Then we'll be going through some of the news from our portfolio companies, some media coverage that has been happening in Bank to the Future community, and then also some of the recent updates on returns from portfolio companies. And the main section that I'm going to go through with the screen share is I'm going to be showing you how to deposit funds so that you can place a trade on the secondary market. So we're going to go through that in more detail. So for me, does everything look okay in terms of everyone being able to hear?
Yep, so far so good.
Great. Okay, so remember to bring in your questions. We got some from the Telegram group. We got some from the live chat here, hopefully, and any other questions that have appeared throughout social media or anywhere else. And remember that it really helps us. We're on the 5th episode now. I think we're getting better at these things. We are building out a studio to make these more professional, but much of the time I'm on the road. So I'm currently here in my hotel in Hong Kong. But remember to like this video. If you're not a subscriber to this channel yet, then please do subscribe to this channel. And when you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell button right next to the subscribe, and that way YouTube will send you an email notification every time we go live or every time we upload a video, so that you don't miss any of the live broadcasts and get to ask your questions live for the Bank to the Future investor community. And also use the comment section, and YouTube likes to, in their algorithm, consider how many likes, how many comments, how many engagement, and do share this so that we can spread the good word of investing in the future of finance and the disruption of what we believe will be the disruption of a multi-trillion-dollar industry as traditional finance transitions to this new world that the companies that we're investing in are building, and that you can come and invest with us should you be a qualifying investor and choose to build a portfolio in this industry and buy into that thesis. So I'm going to move over to the screen share, and hopefully you will soon be seeing an infinite screen. I think it's shared. Let's check. Yep, you see the infinite screen of me disappearing into the screen. And I'm going to head over to the Bank to the Future platform. So just like on the last episode of Bank to the Future Live, we tend to work with a couple of deals at a time. We've currently got 4 deals that we're signed a contract with, and we're working to get out to our priority access members. And we're at the moment, we seem to be moving into a flow with our priority access deals that we're sending one early stage company and one established company. Now, we get feedback from all of our investors that they'd like to see. So for those of you that don't know, when you log into your account, once you've done all the qualification and you've set your account up, then anytime we get a new deal, head over to this Invest tab, and that's where we place all new deals. So at the moment, you can see 2 new deals, and then you can see some of our previous deals that we've listed here from the past, and that will go on for a while. The new deal that we've got that was covered last week is we're currently doing a funding round for Start Engine, which is a US equity crowdfunding platform focused on US businesses, and that's currently in overfunding. And so that's already reached its goal. And just for those of you that don't know, the way that overfunding works is that it means that the company is agreeing to sell more equity. It doesn't mean that the equity on offer gets diluted and spread less thinly. It means that they decide to go over the funding goal, and they will sell more equity on the same terms to the amount that's sold over that. And we've also got equity crowdfunding platform for the US, and we've also got Trusty, which is building a compliance app for those issuing security tokens, and everything that needs to be done in terms of KYC, AML, and everything that issuers of security tokens are going to need to do in order to comply with securities laws and anti-money laundering laws, which is a really important part of growing the ecosystem. They've already reached their minimum funding goal. They're on their way to halfway amongst the maximum goal. And they just announced another investor that came in that's a strategic investor. And in order to get those announcements, then you can just simply go to the forum tab. For those of you not too familiar, we're in the middle of integrating our pitch pages and company pages so that this is a little bit more seamless originally, so you can see an overview. But if you want to engage in the forum, then you need to head over to the company page. The reason we've moved the forum over to the company page is because we're dealing with companies that have multiple funding rounds in the future, and it gets very confusing when you have multiple forums just for every time they have a funding round. So we consolidated them into one company page, and then the pitch pages and the trade pages are all going to move over and migrate over to the company page. And just as a reminder, this discussion tab is where you can ask questions, and that's open and viewable by all qualifying members of BnkToTheFuture.com. But once you become an investor, there's this private investor forum. And because this account hasn't actually invested in this company, you won't be able to see that. But if we'd actually completed an investment, then you would have access to the investor only zone. And the investor zone is where all the companies communicate with their investors only, whereas the discussion is public to both new potential investors and existing investors. So those are 2 of the new deals live. For those of you that are priority access deal members, you'll notice that we announced the first type of 2 different types of priority access deals this week. One was a new early stage company that will be appearing here on the Invest tab once the 48-hour head start period is over. And the second was a new format, which is we're going to be releasing over the coming weeks and months very highly established companies that are going to be launching on our secondary market. Most of them are going to launch on our secondary market either Q2, Q3, once we come out of beta, and we'll go through a bit more about what the difference between beta and live is as we do the screen share. Then these will be launching on the trading page. And what we're actually doing is those who are BFT premium members And just as a reminder, a BnkToTheFuture.com premium member means that you hold a minimum of 10,000 Bank to the Future tokens, BFT, and you deposit them either to your BnkToTheFuture.com account, which you can do in the fund section of your account, or you have actually connected a BF wallet to your account. So just so you're aware, you go to the BnkToTheFuture.com account, head over to the fund section. If you've completed the verification certification and your account is all up to date, then you can simply click deposit here. And what you need to do is just enter. So here, this account already is connected to a Bank to the Future wallet, a BF wallet, and therefore the address is showing there. But you can enter the address that you'll be sending the funds from, declare how many you'll be sending, and if you send 10,000, then that's the minimum amount you need to have on deposit in order to actually maintain a premium membership on Bank to the Future to get priority access emails to all those priority deals. You simply hit the next stage, and then it will give you an address to send them to. You send the tokens. Once those are all matched up, then you are a premium member. And the reason to send a little bit more, if you want just the minimum amount on your account in order to receive premium membership, then send a minimum of 10,000. But if you send more over, then you can use them to pay your trading fees, as we'll go through today, and receive a 50% discount off all trading fees. And what we've seen to date is that approximately 65% of all of our investors have been using BFT, the Bank to the Future token, in order to receive that 50% discounted trading fees and pay those with BFT at the live coin market cap rate. Sorry, the live price upon coin market cap. To understand more about the Bank to the Future token, then you can see our listing on CoinMarketCap. You can see where it is. You can see the liquidity. And we've noticed this month that as we've gone deeper into our secondary market, that the liquidity seems to be increasing, and more people are purchasing those tokens in order to gain access to the 50% discounted trading fees for the secondary market. And you can see, if you click on the markets tab, where you can go to purchase those. So you need to be familiar with using a cryptocurrency exchange in order to do that. And at the moment, most of the volume seems to be going onto Huobi, and Bittrex and Upbit are there. And Etfinex and Bitfinex and Gate.io are the ones that are supporting that. And more exchanges have been reaching out saying that they're going to be listing the Bank to the Future token in the coming months. That's not something we control. It's up to the exchanges. It's a decentralized ERC20 token. So if any exchange chooses to list that, then that is their prerogative. And I'm sure CoinMarketCap will update it shortly after. And I think there's a bit of a problem with CoinMarketCap at the moment with fake volume from exchanges that are reporting lots of fake volume. So it's pretty tricky to make sense of what the best exchanges are at the moment. But if you've got a bit of experience and you follow some of our portfolio companies, then you'll know which ones are kind of the ones that are slightly different and not doing the fake volume game, which is becoming a real problem with those exchanges. So you can deposit your 10,000 BFT. We appreciate and understand that having to go to a crypto exchange and purchase those tokens and then sign up for an account, get verified, certified, and then deposit those, know your send address. We know that that is not an optimum user experience. And in this roadmap and pipeline is all about simplifying and making that process a lot easier. With some of our exchange partners, for example, Coin Payments now supports the Bank to the Future token, which means that there are thousands, well, I think they've got 2 million registered users that are now able to accept Bank to the Future tokens for whatever they want in those merchant processing, when doing merchant processing. So integrations like that is making the token more and more useful in more and more places, while we continue to build. So we've given an example here. But the point of this was to go through the secondary market and what I was saying. So what we've been doing is, this week we shared one deal that will be going live on the invest page, which is a new earlier stage company. And remember, all of the companies that, we've now got on Bank to the Future platform, approximately 6 unicorns, which means that there's 6 companies that are now worth over $1 billion. But when we first launched them, they were all startups. And they were all early stage companies, and people were talking about how it's early stage and, debating on the forums about whether they're likely to succeed or not. Some of them have failed, some of them are unicorns, and some of them are in the middle and still making progress trying to reach that unicorn status. But that's the name of the game. And so we released the earlier stage companies, new ones on the invest page in primary offerings. And then we're releasing gradually some of the stocks and of companies that we're going to be listing on our secondary market. And the only people that get access to those secondary listings are those that are premium members of BnkToTheFuture.com. We just announced that the first one for premium members of BnkToTheFuture.com is Circle, which is obviously a much higher valuation company because they've got their New York BIT license. They own the USDC stablecoin, which is the second largest stablecoin. They acquired Poloniex. They also acquired Seed Invest platform, and they run Circle Pay and Circle Trade, and they've got their OTC trading desk. And they've got ambitious plans as well. Now, remember, on the secondary market, we don't necessarily have information rights. So, and that's an important feature of the secondary market, so that we can, not subject ourselves to too many, insider trading challenges that can arise. But then we'll be distributing them initially to our premium members only. And once the distribution is through, they go into our SPV, and then they join later, probably in Q2, Q3, once we're out of beta, the secondary market page. Now, while we're in beta, we've only got one of our portfolio companies available on the secondary market, which is the Bitfinex SPV. And I'm going to go through today how to place a buy order and a sell order on the Bitfinex SPV, so that you can see that process live in action on this account that we've set up just for this purpose. And so, just as a reminder, let's go through this right now. So when you click on the section you find the company you like. At the moment, Bitfinex SPV is the only company trading. It's important to remember that you are not trading Bitfinex shares themselves, because that would require them to be a public company. Just going to hide that. There's a different regulatory requirement. So the way that we do it is that every share in this SPV, and this SPV is a special company set up for holding shares that we own in Bitfinex, and that other investors might have beneficial interest to, is the one that you're actually trading. And by trading, it's an OTC desk where we put together buyers and sellers, and you are actually paired up with a qualifying investor on BnkToTheFuture.com. And we've automated the whole process of signing the contract with the buyer and the seller, putting them together on this over-the-counter order book. And so what I'm going to do right here is just go through a few things. So this particular account does hold shares in the Bank to the Future Bitfinex SPV. And you can see that here, the number of shares that you own if you own them already. If you don't own any shares in the Bitfinex SPV, then this number will show as 0. This here, the nominal value, you can hover over and get a little explanation here, but this is the initial value when the original funding round happened on BnkToTheFuture.com, when we first started this, at what price it was initially launched at. And that was at $1 when the initial round was done. And here you can see the estimated value. Now, the difference between this and the estimated value is that we use what's called a pricing event. And a pricing event doesn't happen in the SPV, but it happens in the underlying equity. So Bitfinex, the actual company. And so Bitfinex, the actual company, the last reported trade that happened on the underlying company, the actual shares, was at $16. And so what we do is we take the number of shares, we multiply it by the last reported trade. So what we require in order to update this number is either the company does another funding round, which sets a new price for the underlying company, Bitfinex, or something happens like a share buyback happens, or some kind of pricing event whereby it sets a new price. And that becomes the estimated price, because that's the price at which the underlying equity has actually been sold at the last pricing event. So once that's the value there, and then you can see the value of the shares based upon that. And remember, there is an arbitrage here. And the arbitrage is that because some people want liquidity sooner, and others are looking to accumulate, then depending on how many people are looking for liquidity, they might be willing to sell at a price below the last pricing event. And that creates an arbitrage whereby the SPV might be trading at a discount to the last pricing event, which is the situation with Bitfinex right now, more because we're in beta. So here are all the people that you could be matched up with in the OTC market. So there's somebody that's willing to buy about $45,000 worth of shares at this price, and you can see the price there, the number of shares, and then you can simply, if you had these shares and you wanted to sell to this buyer, then you can simply click on the sell button rather. And you'll come to this screen, which is a 3-step process in order to execute on that trade. And this takes you through the process of identifying the person that you will actually be selling your shares to, entering into an agreement to sell your shares to them, and then the buyer becoming the new owner of those shares in our online digital streamlined process. So in order to sell, so if that order's there, you have to actually already have shares, obviously. We won't let you short shares or anything. The market's not liquid enough to be able to do that. So you can't sell shares that you don't own at this stage. And you simply enter the number of shares that you're looking to sell. So let's say I want to sell 1,000 shares. It will tell me the value that I will receive for those shares. And I can decide to pay my trading fee, either the full fee and just pay it as normal from balance on my account, or I can decide to pay it with any BFT, Bank to the Future tokens, which have been deposited to my account. And if I do it that way, it will give me the live exchange price based upon the coin market cap rate. And then it will tell me how many tokens it will cost in order for me to sell that. So I just simply progress to the next stage. And then there's a few things that I need to read. I need to read the share transfer agreement between myself on this account and the party that will actually be purchasing those shares. And I need to make sure I understand some of the challenges and risk warnings here, and what that means to actually do that. And I'm not going to click next, because that would actually execute a trade, and I don't want to actually execute this trade. This is, although we're in beta, this is actually a live market, but we give you a warning there. And if you hit next, then the trade is done and dusted, and you can go to the portfolio section of your account, and you can see all of the trade history and the share transfer agreement and everything that you agreed to in completing this process. So I'm going to now return back to the market. I didn't actually execute that trade, and just show you the same process for if I wanted to purchase shares. Now, at the moment, it allows me to buy these shares, and the reason it does is because I have already an existing balance on BnkToTheFuture.com in US dollars. If you don't have a balance, then you're going to need to head over to the fund section of this account. And just so you know, there are two sections which we're currently working on revamping. The first is the fund section, because in beta, you're only able to deposit using a stable coin, because we wanted to just really focus on sophisticated investors that are very familiar with Bitfinex, and so we decided just to only do that with those that know how to deposit USD Tether to their account. And the way that it works is you have a US dollar balance, and you can select how you want to deposit. You could select, for those of you that don't know, Tether is a stable coin where each token is pegged to $1, and therefore you can send it easily. You can purchase Tether on exchanges like Bitfinex and others, and it's one of the most, it was a top 10 cryptocurrency, and you can see on CoinMarketCap all the different places that you could purchase Tether. But initially, we're just focusing on those that really understand the market and probably have Tether already or know how to purchase that. And you can see all the different places and what you could buy Tether with on CoinMarketCap and all the different exchanges and all the different trading pairs. So you can see it's a heavily liquid backed token. And all you do is you simply enter the address. So if you're sending it, we don't recommend sending it from exchange, but if you are sending from exchange, we'll still match that up. It just might take a little bit longer. Just simply enter the address of where you will be sending those from in the exchange, so that we can match it up, and tell us how many Tether you're going to be sending over. So $10,000 worth. Let us know if you're going to be doing it on Omni, which is what most exchanges support, but more are also supporting Tether on Ethereum. And we will then give you either an Omni address to send it to or an Ethereum address to send it to. And in the next step, if I've entered my address, it will then tell you where to send those to. Once we match it up, you'll then have a US dollar balance in the fund section of your account. So this particular account has got $7,000 in. And that means that you'll then be able to either place a buy order on the secondary market, or you'll be able to buy from somebody else that has already got a sell order. So in this case, I could either just place a buy order here if I wanted to purchase, let's say, something like $4.50 or $5, or maybe I wanted to wait and be patient and only purchase if the price comes down to $1. Then I can place a buy order there. When I actually place a buy order, I just need to enter a few things. So I enter the number of shares I want to purchase. Let's say I want to buy 1,000 shares at $1, then I'd need the $1,000. And what will happen once I actually place this? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to elect to get a 50% discount should the buy order actually be filled. And I'm going to hit next, and it will show me the share transfer agreement, various other things I need to understand. Important information about the lack of information rights. Maybe there won't be liquidity. Understanding the different important factors when doing something like this. And if I hit next, I get the confirmation. It will tell me the order that I'm looking to place. It will tell me the amount, the fees, everything I need to confirm. And then if I place that order, you can see that the buy order has actually been placed. And I can either see the order in the account. If I wanted to cancel that order, then I could cancel it here. But if somebody actually takes that order and they want to sell those shares to me, then it would be too late and you won't be able to cancel those anymore. It also means that it blocks out some of the funds on my US dollar balance, because I can't place 2 orders with the same amount of money and double spend, obviously. So those funds will now be blocked out, but if I cancel it, those funds will then become available again, should I wish to do that. So I could go through that process there. I'm happy to keep that order if those shares actually become available to me at $1, then I'm very happy for that. Or you could decide to be a bit more aggressive, and you could see that you wanted to actually take one of the orders. So in this case, somebody is looking to sell their 400 odd shares here at approximately around about $5 to $6. Then I could just simply take those. I could buy it. I could say how many shares. The minimum size is $1,000 worth in order to make a purchase at the moment. And I can simply enter it. I can decide to pay with BFT or not, and go through a very similar process. And in this case, there will be no bid offer because I'm actually taking somebody else's order there. So they've already got a sell order, and I'll be taking those, and I will buy some of those shares. So it's a very simple buy and offer order book. And in beta, as we said, where any qualifying member can use this. They can take advantage of this fact that there is currently a discount to the nominal value, the last reported trade, and there's a bit of an arbitrage there while the market is in early forms, and from those sellers that want early liquidity and are willing to sell at a discounted price in this market. You can see some trading history. You can see the volume here, very basic charting, and you can see a history of orders that have happened in the beta market. And again, anybody can actually do that. The other thing to be aware of, in order to prevent market manipulation in such a market like this, we only allow you to have one buy order and one sell order at a time. We don't want people putting spoof trades in there and then placing trades at the same time. It's not that kind of market. We welcome any feedback on those types of things, but that's our mechanism for preventing such things. And that is what I wanted to show you about placing a buy order and a sell order on the beta secondary market. For those of you that are premium members, you have this week already received a new deal that will be going live on the invest page, a primary offering from a more early stage company. And you have also been given the ability to actually get an allocation in the pre-secondary market funding for the established company Circle, that the Circle SPV will be looking at Q3 approximately to go live on the secondary market. Just while I'm here, another thing I want to show you before we start going over to other news is that you can also, if you don't want to deposit, you want to be a premium member and you don't want to deposit the BFT on Bank to the Future at this stage, you'd rather hold it in a wallet where you own the private key, then you can simply download the BF wallet, which is available on iOS and Android right now. And when you download it, you will find a lovely BFT wallet, so you can purchase the BFT on an exchange. Make sure when you set up that you back it up and you've got the backup keys so that in case you lose your phone, you can retrieve that wallet on any phone or any other device that you choose that supports the app. And then you can hold them on your Bank to the Future, the Bank to the Future token on the BF wallet. And when you sign in, if you connect your BnkToTheFuture.com account to the wallet, so when you're on the wallet, it will ask you whether you want to log into your BnkToTheFuture.com account and connect it. Then you can hold it, you can connect your wallet, you can hold it right in your own wallet where you own the private keys. And Bank to the Future will know that you're a premium member as long as you maintain a balance of 10,000 BFT. At this stage, though, we obviously don't have access to pull funds out of your account because that would be against the principle of how the wallet works and you owning your own private key. So if you wanted to pay your trading fees, you would still need to send those over to the fund section of your BnkToTheFuture.com account in order to take advantage of those 50% discounted trading fees as we put more and more markets onto the Bank to the Future secondary market. We're really excited about the deals that we got coming up. We've already penciled out about 10 deals that we're looking to roll out over the coming months, but we still want to, before we go live out of beta, once we go live out of beta, there will be some additional things that we're revamping right now. Many of you requested it. The portfolio section on BnkToTheFuture.com is not our finest user experience. We know that. We've been getting feedback on how to improve it. And we will be releasing new features for the portfolio section so that you can easily find your trade history and all the deals. And also, the fund section will be opening up for people to deposit US dollars and additional stable coins. And we're in the process of testing and building out our automated deposit and withdrawal process that simultaneously complies with all the anti-money laundering and security laws regulations that we must comply to in order to bring this market and this opportunity to our qualifying investors. So that is everything I wanted to show you there. I am just going to, so those are the new deals that we wanted to show you. That is the how to place a buy and sell tutorial, how to deposit funds to your account, and some of the things that we're looking to improve over the coming months. So the next section I wanted to go through just before we start taking some of your questions, hopefully they have been building up, is we wanted to go through some of the portfolio companies. And so just so you know, if you wanted to see some of our portfolio companies, then you can go over to the companies page and you can see the deals that we may have invested in, maybe on our secondary market, maybe did a primary offering, or deals that we have done in the past. And that's over there on the companies page. But moving over to some of the news that we've seen, is one of our earlier companies that we raised finance for, Brave New Coin, which is a media platform. They have just completed the ability for their data to be used by NASDAQ, and they've added Bitcoin and Ethereum trading data and some of their other data to the NASDAQ platform. So congratulations to Brave New Coin for pushing the crypto markets forward and helping with filtering out some of the poor data from some of the things we were talking about with CoinMarketCap, being able to filter out some of that data to the point where NASDAQ was comfortable using their API and their integration. We also are announcing Bitfinex, the only company live on our secondary market right now, is also launching EOS Finex too. So for those of you that don't know, they have they're about, once this launches, they'll be having 3 platforms. There's Bitfinex, which was originally started as a Bitcoin trading platform, but now has many other trading platform tokens and cryptocurrencies. They also launched ETHFinex, which was using Ethereum as the base pair. And now they're launching EOS Finex, which is using EOS as the base pair. And so that will be something that we look forward to seeing too. They've got their live page and coming up soon section. Also, another one of our portfolio companies, Abra. Abra, I will be speaking at their event in Hong Kong tomorrow, and I'll be hosting an event with Bill, the CEO, and some other people. So for those of you that are around in Hong Kong, there's an event you can tweet. If you tweet me, I'll send you a link to the event in Hong Kong where Abra will be there presenting, and I'll be presenting as well. I'm really excited about some of the things they're doing with their app at the moment. So they've created some very, very clever technology which allows for collateralized by Bitcoin people, investors, to purchase shares in public companies like Apple, and many other public companies using crypto. So they'll be able to buy stock in Apple using Bitcoin, which is a big deal, not necessarily for those of you in the US, but being able to, companies like, for example, Berkshire Hathaway, which is $320,000 per share, I believe, last time I looked. Please fact check that, but I believe it's something like that. You can only, to be able to get fractional ownership in that, and those types of companies using Bitcoin, is a really, really interesting use case that's coming through. And the fact that people around the world don't necessarily have access to the US stock market. It is one of the most globally accessible, but it's still inaccessible to many people in many different countries. But now they can buy Bitcoin, and Bitcoin gets a new use case of collateralizing these stocks. And also giving people the ability to purchase them with cryptocurrency. So congratulations, Abra, on rolling that out. I believe that it's not open to US customers, unfortunately, due to the regulatory environment there. But there's some of the news on companies that are from our portfolio company. And next week, we'll be looking for the latest news and the latest updates from there. And do keep an eye out. We are currently working on announcing another large cap company that will be open to our premium members first, and then also at some point over the next couple of weeks we'll be looking, once the Circle offer is subscribed to by our premium members, we'll be looking at rolling out the initial allocation to some of the other larger cap companies. And so that is all I'm going to do on the share screen. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. And there we are. You should see me putting my glasses back on. Famida, can you confirm you can now see me and not my screen?
Yep, I can see you very clearly.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to go through my show notes, make sure I've covered everything. So just to recap, going through my show notes, new pitches, Start Engine, live on the Invest page, and Trusty. New priority deals. We announced the new earlier stage company and the more established company for pre-deal for our secondary market, which is Circle. For those of you that are not premium members and would still like to access that deal, then please do get on the BnkToTheFuture.com account. Make sure that you've updated your verification, certification status, done all the boring stuff, and then maybe tweet out to us or write to our support team, because we've already emailed out the link. And if you are a premium member and you've joined recently, then we will just write to our support team. They'll make sure that you get a link and can access that, because it won't be open on the Invest page. We do many deals that never reach the Invest page because they're only available to our premium members, or they sell out to our premium members as well. We covered the brave new coin NASDAQ integration. We covered Bitfinex launching EOS Finex, and we covered Abra's new stock app. A few things that happened while I was over here in Hong Kong. I spoke at the BitSpark event. BitSpark is one of our portfolio companies that are doing some really interesting things with, they just launched their Hong Kong dollar stable coin. And they're doing using crypto in order to provide more efficiency in the remittances between Hong Kong and Philippines and various other countries. And they're looking at rolling out a lot more of those stable coins in order to facilitate the remittance market and produce some efficiencies there. And I spoke at the BitSpark event here in Hong Kong. There was a camera. As soon as we receive the recording, I'll make that available. But that on the panel was Maxine and George from BitSpark, and one of the board members and founders of MyEther Wallet, and myself discussing emerging markets and crypto. And also, what else have we got? I did an interview while over here for cable TV in Hong Kong. And my good friend here, Harry, actually conducted the interview.
Looks like we have lost Simon again. Let's just wait a moment. Hopefully you can join. This did actually happen earlier when we were doing the test, but he should be back on soon. Let's give it a minute or two. He's probably restarting his Mac. I have no idea what's happened. He is in Hong Kong, so bear with. I think he's on. You guys are funny in the chat. Oh boy. Yep, that's right. Thanks for sticking in there, guys, in the chat. H3, you should stick around. He's going to do a Q&A. Well, we're hoping that he can do the Q&A. I have no idea what's happening. Can't even reach him on the phone. So, but I'm going to bear with it. I trust in the process. I trust that he's going to get here eventually. Go for it. Why don't you try then, H3?
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Simon's back. Right.
Okay. I don't know how long I was talking for, but I thought I did actually close out the show. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh no, I didn't actually see that. I had no idea that you did. But we were just hanging out for the Q&A if you wanted to do a Q&A.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we are reaching, pretty much an hour now. So, I mean, what do you think, guys, in the chat? Do you want him to carry on with the Q&A?
Why don't we just? I mean, I can take a couple of questions and then we can move it out because it seems like the internet's getting some issues, kicking me out.
Okay, I have a question about Telegram. Is there any updates about Telegram?
Head over to the investor zone. Unfortunately, I can't give the updates publicly, but I did. There are some updates over there, and they're pretty close from what they're telling us to issuing the tokens. So it's not something we can share with anyone that's other than the investors in the investor zone.
Okay, there's actually a good question here. I think it was from last week. Would you consider having a referral system in the future for example, if somebody invites another person onto the platform, would you give BF tokens as or perks?
We would certainly consider it, but we're very skeptical about what can come from a referral program because we're only allowed to deal with a certain segment of investors. And I can imagine if we had a referral program, you know, those horrible comments you see in YouTube and all over the internet where people are pumping you into things because they receive referral fees. We really don't want to create a culture of people trying to receive BFT, you know, and just because and pumping people into certain things, and all the mis-selling and misinformation that can come by just incentivizing someone. So as much as I would, is definitely not something we wouldn't want to do. I mean, we would love to be able to reward people for sending referrals, but how you control people from the bad actors that are just trying to earn BFT and therefore start pumping people into buying things. We really don't want to create a culture of mis-selling, aggressive sales, and all of the consequences that can come. And plus, many of these people that might be receiving these referral fees are probably not qualified on exactly how to present information in a compliant fashion. And we really don't want links all over Reddit and all over social media of people trying to promote things that aren't meant to be promoted in a public environment, because they have to be restricted to the people. But if we can come up with a good way of doing that and not putting ourselves at risk in terms of mis-selling and misinformation, then we'd be delighted to actually roll that out. But we're very skeptical about how that can be achieved and some of the things that you see from other people that have referral schemes.
All right. I have a question here about, I think you did actually touch on this. What's next on the secondary market after Bitfinex?
Yeah, so we're if you are a premium member, then you will receive emails about the deals that are going to be live on the secondary market, and you will be able to get the allocation for those. And then in Q2, Q3, once we're done with the beta, we'll be listing those on the secondary market, and the only people that will get the initial allocations are those that are premium members of Bank to the Future and subscribe to the deals and receive the priority notifications.
I have a basic kind of a basic level investor sort of question, where someone that wants to get started in investing in companies for the first time using crypto currencies. Do you have any advice?
My advice would be is that you got to really make some kind of investment theses about what you're actually doing here. So a well-diversified portfolio for somebody that wants to be involved in the growth of the crypto market, the first step would be to actually use crypto, own some Bitcoin, maybe get, diversify into the more exotic, more risky things as well. But start with Bitcoin, and then also diversify with some equity in companies. So and you can diversify in full financial advice. But the reason we created Bank to the Future is so that qualifying investors could invest widely into a range of deals, and now they can invest into a range of early stage companies that might produce the big unicorns later, and also the ones that are almost unicorn status or approaching unicorn status, and they will have significant growth if the entire crypto market grows, and they still grow with it. So it's about taking a diversified approach. It's about diversifying into a range of different things, and the secondary market allows us to do, to really look at some of those more established companies, and understanding a risk profile, because this is only open to those willing to take high risk in order to accumulate high returns, and also understanding how quickly and how long you're able to lock up that capital, because this is a long-term investment as well. But some of the most rewarding investments have been where you're forced to stay in for the long term, and then also we provide, where we can, the secondary market liquidity if the companies are progressing and becoming household brands in the industry.
All right, I think that's it, Simon. You can wrap it up.
Okay, excellent. So I did actually wrap it up, but maybe I was speaking to myself, because I got booted off because of the internet connection maybe 2 or 3 times. And I'm hoping for me to stepped in and kept you entertained. But that's going to do it for another episode of Bank to the Future Live. We again would like you to please head over to Telegram and give us any questions that we didn't cover this week, or anything that comes to mind, and we'll try and cover that one next week. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, engage with us. That helps us reach a wider audience. And remember, when you subscribe, hit that bell button so that you get an email notification for every time we broadcast live. And check out the Invest tab on our for new deals. Check out the secondary market. Make sure that you've gone through the verification and certification process on your account, so when a deal comes, you are ready to go. and let us know exactly what you would like to see next week. What things need more explaining, what things we're not doing so well, what things we are doing well. We're open to all feedback so that we can get better and better as we invest into what we believe to be the disruption of a multi-trillion-dollar industry as the crypto and fintech markets take over traditional financial products one step at a time. And this over and out, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Bank to the Future Live. Thanks for Mida, thanks to everyone that joined us live, and thanks to all the viewers that will be watching it on the recording. Over and out.